Scientists in Poland have reportedly developed lab tests that can detect whether people have taken abortion pills. And those tests are already being used to investigate pregnancy outcomes under the country's abortion ban. This is alarming, an alarming development to say the least. And unfortunately, it feels like it's only a matter of time before a US state replicates this effort. And we said a US state, I would honestly say more than a state and say a ton of them states. According to the New York Times, Polish scientists have developed tests that can identify both mifepristone and misoprostol, the drugs typically used in a medication abortion. Though some people do not use misoprostol alone, the studies show part of a research project funded by the Polish government. The government funded this, where researchers were able to find evidence of misoprostol in the placenta and mifepristone in a woman's blood sample. A spokesperson for the prosecutor office in Wroclaw claimed or confirmed to the Times that the Polish authorities have already used the test to investigate pregnancy outcomes. My God, and this is according to Jezebel. Susan, where are we at? I mean, I am already afraid. I mean, we use drugs from Europe, to European countries to carry out the death penalty, even though those countries tell us to stop. We know what Republican states are already planning, what this means, and this is so scary to women. Has to be scary to women living in these states, knowing that these Republican lawmakers will not stop at anything to prosecute them. What are your thoughts?
Are you noticing how things keep growing from the abortion debate? I say it every time that something else comes out. Originally, when the leaked document from the Supreme Court about how they were going to rule on Roe v. Wade came out, and then the progressives lost their minds. They started hyperventilating over what is that was going to possibly come. This is just a states' rights issues, guys. What are we concerned about? It started there, and then after then, of course, it came through for sure. Many states who, as they were talking about, had triggers ready to unleash some of these very limited type of legislation against people that could have children, right? So then they come after them in this way, and then it keeps increasing more and more. Then we're gonna start limiting travel. Down in Texas, there's certain areas that are limiting travel from people, and they're gonna monitor people if they're gonna leave the state to go to an accepting area. I thought it was a states' rights thing, but now they're starting to trap people in. And now we have developments out of Poland where they can test whether or not people had taken an abortion medication. And now we'll maybe start testing them over that. Again, this is the assumption that'll happen next, because again, this was developed in Poland. But what would keep them from doing it? All the things that they said that they wouldn't do based off of this decision have happened. In fact, more so. Why wouldn't they go to this degree? Because they'll always say, the bottom line is, yes, we went past what we said. Yes, we said we're not actually looking to oppress people and monitor them and no big government, unless it's stuff that they want to monitor people on. Why would they not do it here? Because they'll just say we're protecting the babies. That's the most moral thing of all things, above anything else you guys want to say. Yes, women die from pregnancy. Yes, there's complications. Also, people end up in systems and foster care. If someone can't have a child, or whatever reason they have, maybe it's actually gonna kill them. Maybe they were assaulted by a family member or a stranger, doesn't matter who it was. All these things, they keep going by as if they're not that big of a deal, because the bottom line is controlling women's bodies, controlling whether or not what it is they can do, because that somehow gets votes. That back end is the votes part. They've convinced people that believe their BS, that this is something that's moral and something that they actually want, or they care about children. Next time a child gets killed in a school, ask them how much they cared about that kid.
Yeah, and all of these pro-life people it's so funny to me that they're pro-life in the womb, but their policies that they support not pro-life. I mean, it's their policy to make more kids hungry, put more kids in poverty. It's their policies that would have people dying on death penalty. If you're pro-life, then you should be pro-life when people are born and living. Susan Rinkus at Jezebel went on to say that news of these drugs tests could mean even more people criminalized by the healthcare system, especially without the protection of Roe v. Wade. Hospitals in the US routinely test pregnant women for drugs without their consent, sometimes taking away their newborns and other children as a result. With tests for mifepristone and misoprostol, cops wouldn't even need to say subpoena Meta for someone's Facebook message before arresting them for an alleged abortion. This is what's gonna happen. And I mean, we are being naive if we wait until conservative states already start this. And I think the problem with us saying, they are okay with lying goes back to Boebert. This idea that they told us that we were being hot-headed, we were jumping, we were lying about what their wisdom was. We don't want a nationwide abortion ban, when in actuality they absolutely do. We see that. So we already know that conservative activists in the US are already trying to ban helping others get an abortion, right? So if it's already illegal, what Susan said this in the article as well, even though for now, those proposed penalties are civil lawsuits, right? These are civil lawsuits for helping someone, not criminal charges. State lawmakers have introduced bills to classify abortion as homicide. That is frightening, but none have passed yet. In April, the Biden administration proposed a change to medical privacy laws that would ban doctors and nurses from reporting suspected abortion to law enforcement. But a group of 19 Republican attorney generals, that's 19 states, are asking them to withdraw that change so the cops in the states can keep going after formerly pregnant women. My God. This is what I'm talking about. This idea that you can charge someone for homicide before there's a birth is unbelievable to me. I mean, life, to take a life has to be a life. And this is not to be crude, but to define life, you have to be born. And I think this idea that we put so much emphasis on what a woman's gonna do with her body and not on her will to make that choice is unbelievable to me, especially when I bet you 19 of these attorney generals are probably majority white men. White men making decisions for everybody is as American as apple pie and baseball, and it's also as racist as America.
Let's go back to the way that we look to, no one wants someone to have to go through an abortion. Any woman that has gone through it probably didn't want to go through it. So our starting point is already that anybody who goes through this type of situation is, I can't wait. Or I can't wait to then abort this fetus. So that's always the starting point. So then it goes straight to punitive types of things. That's the way a lot of conservatives think. It's let's punish, let's punish, let's punish. If everybody could agree that we want fewer pregnancies that have to end in abortion, whether it be for health reasons, personal choices, anything along the realms, because there's humans and they have their freedoms. If we can all agree to that, maybe we should think of ways to prevent as many unwanted pregnancies as possible, because we also limit how much young folks get access to condoms and preventative measures along those things. Education on it, because they think if you educate children on sex, that they'll start having it. Guess what? People start having sex at some point in their lives, and that's just what happens. So whatever point that is, education is sometimes against it. Instead, we want to punish people for it. There could be so many different ways that folks from different disagreeing parts about what to do about once someone is pregnant to if they want to abort. But if we have fewer of them happen, why isn't everyone happy about that? Preventative measures are pushed back against by people who want to actually punish for it. So their objective is punishment instead of prevent it. And if there's some agreement that could come to let's stop it before it happens, I said it about guns, same thing. If we want to stop before it happens, we'd see fewer of these instances go down. But is that really what we want?
I got a perfect preventive message, but the Republicans won't be for it. Vasectomies. Mandate vasectomies and see how popular that would be. It's ridiculous, man. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Bro, I can't watch the football game without seeing Cialis, Hims, Viagra. I was like, yo, my kid's here. He's gonna eventually ask, so why are they showing cucumbers, Dad?
Or the bent carrot commercial is absolutely crazy.
That's right. I forgot about the carrot.
Come on, man.